There's something most men never get told about women. Not by their fathers, not by their friends, and certainly not by the mainstream. It's the subtle, unspoken vulnerabilities women have. Psychological, emotional, behavioral patterns that, when properly understood, can give you incredible influence in relationships. Not to manipulate, but to lead with quiet strength. To become the calm center of her storm. To take control in a world full of chaos. This isn't about games. It's about mastery of yourself and of how you respond to her behavior. Let's dive into the 10 powerful female weaknesses that every strong man must understand, paired with how a high-value Stoic man responds with authority, confidence, and quiet dominance. 1. Her need for emotional stimulation. Women thrive on emotional variety, whether it's drama, excitement, novelty, or anticipation. It's not necessarily a weakness in a negative sense, but it can become a blind spot if unchecked. Boredom is the enemy to the feminine spirit. A woman may unconsciously create conflict or emotional highs and lows just to feel something again. The high-value man's response. He doesn't react to emotional turbulence. He provides emotional stability. He becomes the grounded rock she can't shake, no matter how stormy she gets. He creates his own emotional rhythm and invites her into it, instead of getting pulled into hers. Example. When she throws a tantrum, complains, or tries to provoke you, pause. Let her energy fizzle out, and then say calmly, "Are you done now? Let's get back to reality." This isn't cold, it's masculine containment. Women respect it more than any flashy pickup line. 2. Her desire to be led. Despite modern narratives, most women crave masculine leadership. That doesn't mean domination. It means decisiveness, direction, and assurance. She wants to feel that the man she's with can guide not just the relationship, but life. Her weakness? She will test to see if you're capable of leading. She might resist decisions, argue over plans, or challenge your direction, not because she wants control, but to see if you deserve it. The Stoic man's power. He doesn't get angry or defensive. He holds the frame. He leads with or without her permission. His vision isn't up for negotiation. He invites her to follow, not because she has to, but because she wants to. Example, instead of, "Where do you want to go tonight?" say, "We're going to this new place I found. Be ready at 7. You'll love it." Command, don't beg. Invite, don't chase. 3. Her fear of losing a high-value man. When a woman senses that you're rare, that you're not like the average man, that you have standards, options, purpose, she fears losing you more than anything else. That fear subtly governs her behavior. But if you show neediness, insecurity, or obsession, that fear disappears. The high-value man's response, he remains a mystery. He's emotionally available, but not emotionally dependent. He can walk away and she knows it. Quote to live by. A man who is willing to lose a woman gains her respect. A man who is afraid to lose her eventually loses her anyway. Your emotional independence is her emotional anchor. 4th, her craving for validation. Every woman has moments of insecurity, no matter how confident she seems. She wants to know she's beautiful, desired, wanted, especially by the man she respects. But here's where her weakness lies, when she becomes addicted to external validation. She posts thirst traps, flirts with other men for attention, or tests your interest to feel wanted. Your role as a Stoic man. You give validation, but it's rare, powerful, and earned. You're not a simp. You don't chase. You reward good behavior, not chaos. Example, if she dresses up and looks stunning, don't fawn. Just pause, look her in the eyes and say, "That dress was made for you. I like when you show up like this." Controlled, intentional, masculine. She'll crave your approval more than 100 likes on Instagram. 5. Her impulse to test you women. Test men constantly, and not always consciously. These are called shit tests. It's her way of checking if your masculinity is real or just a mask. She might say things like, "My ex used to do that better." "Why are you always so serious?" "You're not as fun as you used to be." These are emotional landmines. Weak men get reactive, strong men smile. Your response: laugh it off, flip the script, stay unbothered. Example: her: "You're not even my type." You: "Good. Your type probably cries in the shower." She'll laugh, she'll blush. She'll respect your energy because you passed the test. Sixth, her weakness for confidence, even if she won't admit it. You can be average looking, average income, average height, but if you carry yourself with absolute confidence, like you know exactly who you are and where you're going, she will notice. Confidence isn't loud, it's rooted. It doesn't flex. It stands still and lets the world adjust. The trap? She might try to challenge that confidence. She might flirt with others, question your decisions, or act hot and cold just to see if you break. Your move: let her do what she wants. You're unshakable. You don't compete for attention. You're already the prize. Quote: "If you have to convince her of your value, you've already lost her respect." 7. Her deep need to feel safe, not just protected physically. Every woman seeks safety, but not just physical protection. She wants emotional security, psychological assurance, and spiritual strength. But here's her weakness. If she doesn't feel safe, she becomes reactive, emotional, manipulative, or even promiscuous. She spirals when the masculine presence is missing. The Stoic man's duty: be the man who speaks slowly, moves deliberately, and never loses his cool. When chaos erupts, you get calmer. When she panics, you steady her. Example: she's crying, overthinking, spiraling. You don't lecture her. You hold her. You look her in the eyes and say, "I've got you. Breathe. You're safe with me." That alone? More powerful than money or status. 8. Her struggle with delayed gratification. Women tend to live more emotionally in the now. That's why they often value how something feels over whether it makes long-term sense. This makes them impulsive at times, especially with attention, validation, or drama. A high-value man understands this emotional wiring. He doesn't shame it, but he doesn't reward it either. Her weakness equals impulse. Your power equals patience. You slow things down. You're not rushed. You take your time. In conversation, in seduction, in decision-making. And guess what? The man who delays pleasure becomes the one who controls it. 9. Her emotional memory. Women don't forget how you made them feel. You can say all the right words, but if she felt dismissed, weak, or insecure around you, she'll remember it forever. Her weakness? She can get trapped in those emotional flashbacks, especially if they're tied to trauma, fear of abandonment, or past betrayals. Your strength? Be present. Be conscious. Be emotionally intelligent, not just logical. Sometimes the masculine answer isn't fix it. It's listen, hold space, and validate without solving. The man who can emotionally connect without losing his masculine center is unstoppable. 10th. Her inability to resist a man who knows who he is. This is the ultimate one. A woman may be drawn to looks, money, or charisma. But the man who knows exactly who he is, his values, his mission, his standards, will always win in the long run. Her weakness? She can't help but submit to a man with direction, and most men fail here. They adapt too much. They over-accommodate. They lose themselves in the process of pleasing her. But a high-value Stoic man, he's immovable. He says, "This is who I am. This is where I'm going. I'd love for you to join me, but I'm going with or without you." And that energy? That's the kind that magnetizes the feminine. That's the kind that earns her deepest loyalty, submission, and love. Final words, 6,000 plus words later. If you master these 10 female weaknesses, not to exploit, but to understand, you will unlock something rare. A relationship where you lead, she respects, and both of you rise higher. This is Stoicism in action. This is power without shouting, control without coercion, dominance without disrespect. Remember, you're not here to chase women. You're here to become the man she chases. So the next time you see her test, you cry, flirt, or spiral, smile. Because now, you know exactly what it means. And you know exactly how to lead. So now you know the truth most men will never hear. Women are not complicated. They're intuitive, emotional, reactive. But they're also beautifully predictable when you see the patterns. Mastering these 10 weaknesses isn't about control. It's about calm leadership in a world that rewards chaos. It's about being the man who doesn't get shaken, who doesn't fold, who doesn't chase validation, but commands respect just by walking into a room. Women aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for direction. They're not looking for a man who pleases them every moment. They're looking for a man who challenges them, protects them, and leads them, even when they push back. That's the Stoic man. That's the high-value man. And if you've made it this far, that's the man you're becoming. So here's your next step. Comment below. Which of these 10 weaknesses have you encountered most often? And how have you learned to respond like a man who leads, not one who reacts? I read every comment, and I'll be replying to the best ones personally. And if you got real value from this, don't just like the video. Share it with a friend, a brother, someone who needs to hear this truth, because the world needs more men who think, feel, and act with strength. This is Truth Uncovered. I'll see you in the next one.